When Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, skeptics wondered if her college magic would translate. By the end of 2025, she wasn't just answering questions. She was rewriting what everyone thought a rookie could accomplish. This season delivered moments so unreal, so physics-defying, that even seasoned analysts had to rewatch the footage just to believe it happened. What you're about to see goes beyond highlight reels. These are the plays that made defenders look helpless, broke the internet repeatedly, and proved that Clark wasn't just ready for the professional level. She was built to dominate it. The transition from college superstar to professional player destroys most rookies. The speed increases, the defenders are smarter, and the margin for error vanishes completely. Clark faced something even more brutal, a target on her back from day one. Every team studied her tendencies, designed schemes specifically to stop her, and sent their toughest defenders with one mission: shut down number 22. The pressure would have crushed anyone else. Instead, Clark used it as fuel. Her first game told everyone exactly what kind of season this would be. She pulled up from 28 feet like she owned the building, drained it without hesitation, and jogged back with that signature confidence that would become her calling card. Defenders immediately understood they were in trouble. This wasn't a rookie trying to find her footing. This was a generational talent announcing her arrival. But shooting from deep was just the beginning. Clark's court vision separated her from every other guard in the league. Against the Liberty in June, she grabbed a contested rebound and instantly saw something nobody else could. A passing window barely 6 inches wide, closing fast, with her teammates streaking toward the basket. Most players wouldn't even consider the pass. Clark fired a laser that threaded through 3 defenders and hit her target in perfect stride. The Fever upset the unbeaten Liberty that night, but this single moment announced something bigger. Standard defensive principles didn't apply anymore. Later that same game, she delivered another masterpiece from half court. Surrounded by defenders collapsing like a closing fist, she used a head fake to freeze one, a shoulder dip to create space from another, then released the ball before her teammate even made her final cut. She threw the pass to where Aaliyah Boston would be, not where she was. That kind of anticipation usually takes a decade to develop. Clark was doing it in her rookie season, making 9 assists look effortless while defenders scrambled to adjust. The really scary part? She was just getting started. Against Connecticut, Clark turned into a defensive nightmare. Back-to-back steals that showcased instincts most guards never develop. The first steal came from reading eyes instead of watching the ball, anticipating the pass before it happened. Her explosive first step put her in the lane before anyone realized the danger. The second steal was even more impressive. She stripped the ball cleanly through contact, maintained control, and transitioned instantly to offense, feeding Kelsey Mitchell for the easy score. The Sun called timeout, their coaching staff frantically adjusting. Clark just smiled, knowing she'd added another weapon to an already unstoppable arsenal. Analysts started questioning their scouting reports. How did they miss this defensive ability? The truth was simpler. Clark kept improving in areas where she wasn't supposed to be elite. Then came the moments that broke social media. Against Atlanta in a nail-biting finish, Clark threw what everyone assumed was a lob pass. Except the ball kissed nothing but net. An accidental basket. Watch it again. The arc was surgical. The backspin was deliberate. She disguised a shot as a pass, camouflaging her intention until the ball dropped through. Defenders froze, confused whether to contest or intercept. She dropped 27 points and 11 assists that night in a heartbreaking loss. But this play became the clip that went viral. Genius doesn't always need a victory to be recognized. A few games later against Chicago, she delivered another passing masterclass. Under full court pressure, 3 defenders formed a human wall. Her target was barely open. Physics said the pass couldn't work. Clark threw it anyway, a bullet through a keyhole that spun perfectly into Lexi Hull's shooting pocket. Chicago's defense collapsed mentally after that. Some things can't be coached against. But if you want to talk about pure shooting devastation, the 38-second stretch against New York Liberty belongs in a museum. Returning from injury, the Fever trailed by 11. Clark decided the game was over. 3 bombs from beyond 33 feet in less than a minute. Not 3 minutes. Not 3 possessions spread across a quarter. 3 consecutive daggers in 38 seconds that destroyed any comeback hope the Liberty had. Each shot defied logic. The distance, the arc, the confidence to keep firing while defenders scrambled. New York called timeouts and adjusted their entire defensive scheme. Nothing mattered. Clark finished with 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, and 7 three-pointers in a statement victory that had the Gainbridge Fieldhouse crowd losing their minds. Analysts called it the most explosive offensive stretch they'd witnessed. Clark called it Tuesday. Her range became legendary, but the audacity behind the shots made them unforgettable. Against Brazil's national team, with the game already decided, Clark launched from 36 feet. A logo 3 that had no business going in. The defender couldn't even contest it. The crowd erupted before the ball reached the rim. Clark jogged back with that smirk that says everything without words. This is my house. Later in the season, facing Dallas after a shooting slump, she ended the cold streak from well beyond the arc and ignited a complete demolition. 13 assists, 5 steals, and total offensive control followed. Once Clark found her rhythm, stopping her became impossible. The shot selection that would get other players benched became her signature. Coaches couldn't criticize what worked every single time. The Commissioner's Cup qualifier against Connecticut turned into a war. Eye pokes, shoving matches, bench-clearing confrontations. Playoff intensity arrived in June. Through all the chaos, Clark dropped 20 points and sealed the 88-71 victory with a dagger from the logo. Then came the moment that defined her competitive fire. After the swish, she turned directly toward Connecticut's bench and unleashed a primal scream. No words, pure emotion. The message was crystal clear. Your move. The Fever punched their ticket to the final. Clark punched her ticket to icon status. That image spread everywhere, capturing the intensity that makes her special. She doesn't just want to win. She wants to dominate and make sure you remember it. Even in losses, Clark delivered moments that left people speechless. Against Golden State, despite the defeat, she orchestrated 9 assists that showcased surgical precision. Each pass dissected defenses like they weren't there, finding angles that existed only in her mind. Against Seattle, she absorbed contact, fought through physical play, and still threaded passes through traffic that would cause turnovers for anyone else. Body control, balance, vision, composure under pressure. Elite basketball IQ on full display. The losses stung, but Clark's ability to elevate teammates never dimmed. She averaged 8.7 assists per game because she saw the floor differently than everyone else. Defenders could slow her down occasionally. They couldn't stop her from making everyone around her better. The numbers told their own story. Multiple triple-doubles as a rookie. Franchise records shattered repeatedly. Performances that had people comparing her to legends who played for decades. Against Chicago, her 20-point, 10-rebound, 10-assist triple-double was statistical perfection. The shooting percentages, the assist-to-turnover ratio, the minutes played through exhaustion. Everything pointed to a player operating at a level rookies aren't supposed to reach. She didn't just meet expectations, she obliterated them. The betting odds before the season had her as a promising prospect who might contribute. By playoff time, she was the Fever's entire offensive identity and one of the league's most feared competitors. What made Clark truly special wasn't just the skill, it was the mentality. Against Las Vegas, facing the defending champions, she navigated through a forest of defenders and delivered a no-look pass that found Boston in perfect position. The telepathy between them bordered on supernatural. Clark accounted for 3 defenders' positions while predicting Boston's movement before it happened. Most quarterbacks would envy that connection. She made genius look effortlessly simple, the mark of someone playing a different game than everyone else on the court. When the pressure mounted highest, Clark elevated. The bigger the stage, the brighter she shined. Her impact stretched far beyond the box score. Clark brought eyes to women's basketball that had never watched before. Sold-out arenas, record television ratings, social media exploding after every performance, young girls wearing number 22 jerseys, practicing logo 3s in their driveways, dreaming of that same confidence. She became more than a player. She became a cultural phenomenon, proof that transcendent talent breaks through every barrier. The WNBA had stars before Clark arrived. What she brought was something different. A combination of skill, range, vision, and competitive fire that forced the entire sports world to pay attention. The rookie season that was supposed to be about adjustment and learning became a masterclass in immediate dominance. Clark didn't need time to figure out the professional game. She bent it to her will from opening night. The assists that seemed impossible. The shots from distances that made coaches nervous. The defensive plays that showcased underrated instincts. The clutch performances when everything mattered most. She delivered all of it while handling pressure that would have broken most players. Critics who doubted her physicality watched her absorb contact and keep going. Skeptics who questioned her decision-making watched her make passes that veteran point guards wouldn't attempt. Every doubt got answered emphatically. Looking back at 2025, this wasn't just an impressive rookie campaign. This was a transformation of what people believed a first-year player could accomplish. Clark set a new standard, raised expectations, and proved that generational talent doesn't need years to develop. It announces itself immediately and demands recognition. The Fever's playoff run captivated millions because of her. The highlight reels that broke the internet came from her impossible plays. The conversations about the future of women's basketball centered around what she'd do next. She didn't just play well, she changed the entire conversation. The scary part for the rest of the league? This was just year one. Clark still learning, still improving, still adding weapons to an arsenal that already seemed unfair. If she accomplished this much while adjusting to professional basketball, imagine what comes next. The range will extend further. The vision will sharpen more. The defensive instincts will develop deeper. She's already superhuman. What happens when she reaches her actual ceiling? The 2025 season gave us a preview of greatness. The next decade might give us the greatest point guard women's basketball has ever seen. And if you watch this season, you got to witness the exact moment it all began. When Caitlin Clark stopped being a prospect and became inevitable.